Well, good morning, everybody. And as we start off this new week here, I just want a quick reminder that today is actually the peak of the hurricane season historically. So around September 10th through the 12th is where historically we have kind of the most tropical cyclone activity. This has been an interesting year because despite the strength of this La Nina, which would normally reduce wind shear across the Atlantic, we've seen at times higher wind shear and a lot of very dry and dusty air. What's interesting about this is we do still see plenty of warm water, above normal temperature water that's in the main development region, the Caribbean and Gulf. But it is neat to see that this right here is the cold water trail from Hurricane Earl, and this is the one from Hurricane K, which over the weekend delivered a lot of heavy rainfall to Southern California. Now, the Atlantic is relatively quiet this week. This is the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. They've given both of these waves a 20% chance of developing over the next 5 days. But some of the models suggest that that wave that's a bit farther to the south just needs to be watched a bit more carefully. And there's possibly development later on top of this that could maybe in the next several days start to just show better signs of life right into this area. I'm going to have to spend quite a bit of time today understanding this pattern and what could lead to this development. So I'll make sure I include that in my report tonight. But just looking back over the last 72 hours, a lot of heavy rainfall across parts of the southeast and Florida. We had this upper level low that just sat here over the weekend, delivering flooding rains to southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. In fact, I saw a lot of flooding videos out of Chicago early this morning. But the front that pushed against that did deliver the rain into parts of the western Corn Belt. A lot of this rain is a little bit too late to really help with the crop. Could help with some of the late planted soybeans here, but we can see some places in here picking up between 3/4 and 1.5 inches of rainfall with some locally heavier amounts. And remember, K came up like this and delivered quite a bit of heavy rainfall to Southern California, but it was also responsible for the big subtropical plume of moisture that you see that's in Arizona, Nevada, and California. Now, we're going to watch that later today on the high-res NAM because you're going to continue to see a lot of scattered storms here throughout the day today, getting into tonight. That's going to move through the Intermountain West. We have flood watches that are out for Arizona, Nevada, and this is all because of the moisture. Some of it left over from K, some of it just this big subtropical plume that's coming through there. While that's occurring throughout the day today, the upper level low just continues to sit and spin here. It's going to try to slowly move over the eastern Great Lakes and into New England by tomorrow afternoon on Tuesday. We expect it to clear the coast by the time we get into midday or mid-morning, on Wednesday. And after that, there's going to be a stretch of drier weather across a big section of the country. A lot of the action will return here to the western and northern plains, where I'm expecting to see at least 2 systems in the next 7 days going through this area. So if we take a look quickly here at the next 7 days of total accumulated precipitation, a lot of the rain you see here is from the upper level low. This is from the subtropical moisture from K. But we're going to keep an eye on 2 different systems, one coming out late this week and then a second one that could come out early next week. And I would expect to see more rainfall showing up here in the northern plains in the coming days. But we're drier, much drier farther to the south, especially after this upper level low clears. Let's go have a quick look at it on the high-res European model. So we've already seen through midday Wednesday. So let's stop it right there. There we go. And what we're going to watch late in the week is see this low pressure system that's on the lee side of the Rockies. That's going to move right over the Red River Valley of the North by Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon. I'm actually going to head up here soon for the Big Iron show. And then that one pulls through. See the rain that sits here? It's kind of pinched between a front that's attached to this low up in kind of the northeast and the second low that's going to come out here. So this would be Friday morning, getting into the weekend on Saturday, and here comes the second system. So this could put rain up against parts of the Pacific Northwest into Montana and then into North and South Dakota right along the U.S.-Canada border. Over the next 7 days, that's really kind of the main show overall. But the pattern is really becoming a bit more conducive to having deeper troughs in the west, at least through the 19th, 20th, 21st, that time frame. So this is going to send us several of these systems in through this area. But just note, the latest European model run, which sweeps that large system through here, see it right there, on the 19th, 20th, and 21st, really kind of flattens out, redevelops a trough in the Gulf of Alaska, ridging returns here, which means more mild conditions for a lot of the United States, and less precipitation going fully into week 2. So I just want to point out, with deep troughs like that, we are now starting to look at snow maps. I'm not sure if that makes any of you happy, but you see here that over the next 10 days, we could get at the very highest peaks some snow that's accumulating. But the bigger picture is during week 2, so the 19th through the 26th, that next system that rolls through here could increase rainfall and disrupt some early harvest efforts in through parts of the Midwest. Okay, let's finish up with a discussion on temperatures. Early this morning, we had a frost advisory that was out for this part of Minnesota, but quite a bit of warm air following this upper level low that's keeping things very cool right here around Lake Michigan today. So you see that through Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday, the west has cooled, a lot of cloud cover here. The Midwest goes right back up to warm temperatures, same thing with the plains as the ridge opens. Then we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we don't see major deviations from normal, but still quite warm compared to average in the midsection of the country. The longer-term forecast on temperatures, this is what we will get toward the end of this video. You'll notice that with that trough coming through, again, the 19th through the 21st, a lot of cooler air in the west. But then you just get out here beyond that, and the pattern kind of opens back up. And we could be talking about some very late month warmth that comes back to the west coast of the United States, but I still don't see any reason to go after a highly amplified pattern that would deliver a big frost into the midsection of the United States, which I know a lot of growers in through here are concerned about an early frost. Just not seeing it. So to finish this up, a few things I want you to read in the report today. I do a quick recap of the fall outlooks from the CPC, the NMME, and the European model. We talk about why they all kind of look the same here. We give a discussion about the latest updates on the probability of maintaining La Nina into winter. We'll talk about this again tonight in the in-depth forecast. We'll also be spending a lot of time this evening talking about the latest updates for South America. You can see here that over the next 10 days, some monsoonal moisture is coming into parts of Rondonia, Para, and then into Mato Grosso. This is important rain for a quick start to the season if they're going to have one. But the risk of being dry south continues to show up here, so pockets of drought developing are going to be a main source of discussion in tonight's in-depth video. So be all a good weekend. I will talk to you again tonight. I'll be in Fargo doing that video, so look forward to talking to you then. Thanks.